Thrilled to be here. It's a dream come true to have this opportunity. Really enjoy the locker room, the coaches, the facility, the city, people here. I'm driving home from work every day with a smile on my face, excited to get back to work the next day. So I think it was everything we were looking for in free agency, and now it's just about becoming a better quarterback, a better football player, and fitting into this team.
Kirk, when you're new with a team and you're obviously the quarterback and everybody expects you to eventually become a leader, what is that process like for you of kind of getting guys to follow you without having to force it?
Yeah, if it's forced, it's not genuine. So it's just a process. You understand that the very first day you're not gonna, you're more like the rookie, and that's okay. We're building towards week 1 in early September, and until then it's just constant development and building and taking steps as a player and as a leader. And, you just have patience and you trust the process and understand that if you just keep coming in here every day with the right attitude, the right mindset, engaged, take it home and spend time as homework, getting better, that over time, the leader comes out, the personality comes out, and you'll be ready to go when it's go time.
It's one thing, Kirk, to have the Vikings tell you about the organization and all that during free agency, but now that you've been in the building for a week, what have you kind of learned about the Viking way and all that kind of stuff?
Well, it's the real deal. I wasn't fooled on the free agent visit. What I saw there has been the truth. There's no aloof personalities in the locker room. Everybody's been very down to earth. There's a humility there. There's a formula here for success, and I sit in the team meetings and I see the organization, I see the attention to detail, I see the professionalism, and it's just no surprise why there was success last year, and it's no surprise why I wanted to be here. So very, very impressed with what I've seen, but at the same time was expecting that all along.
What have you observed so far about Dalvin Cook as he's working his way back?
Yeah, I mean, he's out here with us, doing the drills, working through the plays. Again, it's a process for him to get fully healthy, but he's doing his part. He's been working really hard even long before I arrived here. He's been working hard all winter, getting healthy, and excited to see him full go, because I've heard great things, and he had a lot of excitement at the start of last season. So there's a lot to look forward to with him when he can get back healthy.
For you, what's that?
Impressions of your pass catchers here in this week that you got to work with?
Again, just got a smile on my face from ear to ear. Obviously, Adam and Steph are the two that everyone knows about, and thus far, with the little bit of work we've done, they've lived up to the hype as well. I've been fortunate enough to play with some great receivers, and it looks like they're right there with any of them. So very excited for that opportunity. They're going to make me a better player, and it's great to work with veteran players like that who have had success, know what it takes, and I can more or less, I mean, it's oversimplifying it, but can just plug and play as opposed to having to do a lot more than that.
Did you get together with some of your receivers before everybody reported here?
We just met in Atlanta briefly. Steph and Adam came down and spent a couple days together, and I thought that was productive, just to, more than just the football, just to get to know one another a little bit and build somewhat of a foundation before we started with the whole crew last Monday.
What's it like to be on a team with such high expectations?
Well, it is what it is, right? I don't want to be on a team with low expectations, do I? I think that it's a part of playing in this league. There's pressure on everybody, and it would be immature for us to focus on the expectations. I'm just focused on being the best quarterback I can be today. I'm trying to have a great Tuesday and finish today right, and then go home, be with my family, and then focus on having a great Wednesday tomorrow. And that's where my focus is. The rest will take care of itself, and if we do our job each and every day and having the best OTAs we can have, then the results that everyone's looking to see and care about in the fall, those will take care of themselves.
What stands out about DeFilippo's offense to you?
Well, I think it's the 2018 Vikings offense, and I think it's a combination of a lot of people, a lot of good football minds that are coming together to create that. And I really don't know. I haven't asked, okay, what was stuff you've taken from Philadelphia? What is stuff you've taken from Coach Shermer? What is stuff you've taken from my input? I really don't know. I mean, it is a melting pot. Obviously, he has a lot of the final say, but I think it is a mixed bag of what he's learned through the years, going back to when he was in Cleveland and even before that in Oakland. So the beauty of him having been in the league a while and been around a lot of offenses is he can kind of, mix and match and pick his favorite things to do and combine it into what is going to become the 2018 Vikings offense. But My initial impressions are, there is carryover to what I've done in the past. There's also some new ways of doing things. A lot of it just takes time. It takes reps. It takes going out in the field and having it become, natural, where I don't have to think. And that's the process right now of the off-season program.
What's it like been out and about in the community? A lot of people welcome you to Minnesota, things of that nature?
Oh yeah, people have been phenomenal. No surprise. I mean, this is Minnesota. It's the Midwest, and it's really good people. And our family fits in well here, and one of the many reasons why we're excited to be here. So the people have been great, and hopefully I can play well enough to keep them smiling, because I fully expect them to give me a hard time if I'm not, and I got to do my part in that.
Any anecdotes or stories which demonstrate how excited Vikings fans are that you're here?
I just walked out yesterday at a local strip mall in Eden Prairie, and we were walking back to the car, and just a young man finishing his workday, kind of did the big eyes and kind of put two and two together, and then walked over and asked if I was who he thought he was, and I said I try to be, and so we took a photo, and that kind of a thing. I mean, that happened. That's part of life. That's part of playing in the NFL, and it's a fun deal to see fans excited like that. So now you just got to keep them smiling. They're dying to cheer for us. We got to give them something to cheer about.
Last couple for Kirk. Draft night's coming up. What do you remember about your draft night? What advice would you give guys who are now waiting themselves this week?
I had a very unique draft situation because there were 8 of us quarterbacks who were expected to be NFL-type quarterbacks, and it was not so much a question of where we were all going to go, but among those 8, where were we going to land? And I was hoping to be maybe 4, 5, 6, somewhere in there, and I ended up being the 8th guy, and didn't get picked till Saturday, waited around a little longer than I would have liked, and then went to a team that, of the 32 teams in the NFL, I thought was the 32nd most likely to pick me, going to Washington in the situation that was there. So very unique, but it turned out to be obviously a great thing for me, led me to where I am right now, and couldn't be in a better place. So, I think the message to anybody who's getting drafted is to understand that it's a marathon, not a sprint. The draft is more of a beginning than an end, and just understand that tough times don't last, but tough people do, and just choose to be a tough person every day. This game's going to test you, and if you choose to be a tough person day in and day out, I think you'll end up in a good spot.
How much do you plan on following this weekend's draft?
I'm a football fan, so I pay attention. I don't really distance myself from the game too much when we get away. I do like to follow it. I like to know the league, understand who's on the different rosters, and which direction teams are trying to go, what needs they're trying to fill. I want to understand my opponent, so I'll do the best I can paying attention to it as the weekend goes, and it'll be fun to see the batch of young players we can bring in here who tend to have a major impact on the outcome of your initial season, on the outcome of your career. I'm sure there'll be a couple names that are brought in here this weekend that will be a major difference for us going forward.
Would you put in a word on finding someone to help protect you?
You know what? I firmly believe in letting people do their jobs. They're hired for a reason. You trust them to do their job. If I can't trust them, then that's not a good situation. So I let them do their jobs, fully trust them, and then they got to trust me to do mine. But part of the reason I'm here is because I really believe in the people who are making those decisions and in the organization at the top, and look forward to seeing the direction that we go.
Although, what was your role in getting Tom Compton in here?
0.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep. That was their decision, and it's fun to have someone have a prior relationship with. But he's played in big games, played in the Super Bowl, has been a part of several winning teams, and has been a part of, I believe, 3 division championships in his career. So great to have guys who know how to win in your locker room.